Let's be real. Have you ever felt like you're just drowning in a sea of research papers, staring at some super dense PDF and thinking, where do I even start? Well, you're definitely not alone. But what if you had an AI copilot to help you navigate all that? Today, we're going to break down a really powerful new way to read academic literature. All right, so here's the game plan. We'll kick things off with the big picture, this whole new way to read. Then we're going to walk through the 4 key phases of the workflow: how to triage and skim papers super fast, how to do a real critical deep dive, then how to put that research into the bigger context, and finally, how to pull out what you've learned and save it for later. And to wrap it all up, we'll cover some absolutely essential rules for using these AI tools the right way. So first, let's just talk about the huge shift that's happening here. The goal isn't just about reading faster, it's about reading smarter. It's about getting away from that feeling of just being completely overloaded with information and moving toward a process that gives you clear, structured insights every single time. And this slide just nails it, right? The old way, man, that could take hours, you get burned out, probably miss important connections. But the AI-assisted way? It's like having a surgical tool. You can target what matters, triage a paper in minutes, which then frees you up to do a real critical appraisal and organize what you find into knowledge you can actually use. Okay, let's jump into our first phase and see how this actually works. Before you sink hours into one paper, you've got to decide if it's even worth your time, and that's where the 5-minute triage comes in. The process here is really just 2 simple steps. First, you triage fast. Read the title, read the abstract, get the general idea. Then, if it seems promising, that's when you bring in your AI copilot to give you a quick map of the paper's main claims before you decide to go all in. And here is where it gets really powerful. See, you don't just ask for a boring generic summary. Nope. You use a very specific prompt, just like this one. By making the AI tie every single contribution to a figure or table, you're forcing it to base its summary on the actual evidence in the paper. And would you look at that? The result is this beautifully clean, actionable summary. In just a few seconds, you see the paper's core claims and exactly where to find the proof. So now you can make a smart decision. Do I keep this for a deep dive, park it for later, or just skip it and move on? So once you've found a paper that's actually worth your time, the real work begins. This next phase is all about using AI, not just to summarize, but to help you really rigorously interrogate the paper's quality and its methods. The key idea here is to go from just reading to doing a structured, critical appraisal. First, you'll get the AI to nail down the core research question, maybe using a framework like Pico. Then, you'll actually appraise the paper against established standards. And finally, make the statistics make sense. And this isn't about some vague vibe check on quality. We're using the same checklists the pros in the field use. Doesn't matter if it's a randomized trial or an observational study, there's a standard for it. This brings some serious discipline to your analysis. This is the kind of command you give your AI copilot. Notice you're not asking for its opinion. You are instructing it to run a systematic audit of the paper against a specific checklist. And, this is crucial, to back everything up with direct quotes and page numbers. And what you get back is incredible. It's basically a clear, verifiable report card on the paper's quality. You can instantly see where the paper is strong and, probably more importantly, where it's a bit fuzzy or something's missing entirely. This is critical appraisal totally supercharged. No paper is an island. Its real value comes from how it connects to all the other work out there. So phase 3 is about using AI to quickly map out the scientific conversation happening around the paper you just analyzed. Tools like connected papers are just fantastic for this. You feed it a single paper, and it spits out this visual map of all the most relevant work connected to it. It lets you zoom out from that one PDF and see the entire research landscape. And once again, a great prompt is everything. You're basically asking your AI to act like a super smart research librarian. This helps you figure out who supports this work, who's building on top of it, and, super critically, who disagrees with it and why. Okay, we're in the home stretch. You've done all this hard work of finding, appraising, and contextualizing a paper. This final phase is about making sure all that effort actually pays off by capturing that knowledge so it's organized, verifiable, and ready for you to use in the future. This is all about building your own personal knowledge base. You pull out the key data, you double-check it, you use a good reference manager like Zotero, and you keep everything, the paper, your appraisal, your notes, all linked up. It's a system that turns reading into learning that actually sticks. So, you're almost ready to go. But before you dive in, we have to cover the rules of the road. Think of these as the essential guardrails to make sure you're using these incredibly powerful tools responsibly and effectively. Rule number 1, and this one is absolutely non-negotiable. The AI is your co-pilot, not the pilot. It can create an amazing first draft, but you, the human, must always verify every key number and every claim against the original PDF. Trust, but verify. Every time. Rule number 2, make the AI show its receipts. Just like we saw in those prompts, always insist on page numbers and direct quotes. This keeps the AI's output grounded in reality. And honestly, it makes that verification step way faster and easier for you. And finally, the most important rule of them all. You are still the expert here. AI and these checklists are amazing tools for structuring your thoughts and guiding your analysis, but they are not a substitute for your own critical judgment. Their job is to make your expertise even better, not to replace it. So there you have it, a complete end-to-end workflow to totally transform how you engage with research. You've got the map, you've got the tools, and you've got the rules. The only question left is, what are you going to go out and discover first?